Hey, this is David with the Acme Kitchen Crate. I want to talk to you about non-stick skillets. So non-stick is one of those things that gets kind of an interesting rap. A lot of times it's overused. People get these full non-stick sets, or they get these hybrid sets. They get the, different ones that are trying to do all kinds of things. And non-stick is really, in the end of the day, is a one-trick pony. It's meant to make things not stick to a pan. It's not meant to necessarily sear. So when you're trying to get something that does both non-stick and sear, you're never really going to get the best results. That's why for non-stick and searing, I'm really using the carbon steel. That's really what that's going to be great for. You can get kind of a non-stick, but it's still got great heat retention and it's going to do really good. But if you're cooking eggs or you're doing really greasy things and you just don't want to deal with all the cleanup, that's where the non-stick really is helpful for. This really is my egg pan above all else. And certain dishes when just the stickiness I know is going to be an issue. And so I want to use a non-stick pan. So right now there's kind of two worlds of non-stick. You have your traditional Teflon pans, and then you have your ceramic pans. So with the ceramic pans, this is kind of the newer generation of technology where they're putting a silica-based coating on it that basically kind of creates a non-stick surface. But there's kind of a flaw to it in that when you do it on one of these kinds of pans, it's a surface that's going to constantly wear. So every time you use the pan, you're reducing its lifespan. It's just something that's just the nature of the coating. So these are disposable pans, despite what anyone's ever going to tell you, especially with the ceramic. The ceramic is a disposable pan. When it comes to the Teflon pan, Teflon is going to basically be as non-stick as it was from day one until you damage it. So these are going to work other than if you get scratches and things. If you protect these pans and you don't scratch them, you don't use them, too rough, then you're going to get a lot longer life out of one of these. Honestly, with some of these companies, we quote up to 10 times the life on one of these. So there's always that concern of, do you want a Teflon pan versus a ceramic? If you're going to really use it as just an everyday, egg pan and nothing else, and it's not going to get a lot of use, and you are concerned about not wanting to have a Teflon coated pan, these are still a PFOA free. These have all the toxins removed that were a big problem years ago. There's still always concern with Teflon in general, but it's only a concern if you're flaking it into your food. If you're not scratching the surface, it has absolutely zero concern, and you're exposed to Teflon every day in all kinds of food. A bag of popcorn is lined in Teflon, so, microwave popcorn. So there's always going to be areas where you're going to do it. It's one of those things where you kind of make the choice of, do you want something that is potentially a safer surface, but we know is going to have less life? So environmentally speaking, this isn't necessarily any better for the environment because theoretically you're replacing this much more often than you are this, which means, more for the landfill. So there's kind of a pro and con. Me personally, I'm sticking with the Teflon pans for now, and I just use it sparingly. I use it when I'm doing eggs. I'm making sure I'm always using plastic and wood utensils in it so that way I'm not scratching the surface. And then I know personally I have one of these I've had for 7 years now, and it cooks just as well non-stick as the day I bought it. With these, this is made in. Made in is absolutely one of the best of the ceramic coatings that I've seen on the market today. Both of these are all made here in the USA, which is really nice. I appreciate that for a Teflon pan as well, and that this is a USA applied coating, so that they're at least following, USA EPA guidelines and things like that. This is also made in the USA, and I believe it's the only ceramic pan coated in the USA, which is really cool. And the other reason why I like Made In, for example, as opposed to Heston, which I have in the higher kits, I'm using Heston cookware. Heston has a great nonstick as well, but because in my mind this is kind of still, even with the Teflon, it's still a disposable pan because eventually the coating will wear, I just kind of hit a price level where I'm not willing to pay that much money for that pan because otherwise it makes me that much harder to throw it away in the future. This is a pan eventually you need to throw it away, and I rather feel a lot better about throwing away a $150 pan than a $250 pan. So that's why Made In is my go-to non-stick across the line. Even in my highest end sets, I don't go any higher than Made In because I don't think you need anything higher. This is going to perform fantastically. Honestly, performance-wise, these both are going to be identical. The real difference is just going to be longevity. Sacrifice some longevity to go to a ceramic coating versus having a longer lasting pan with a Teflon coating. So they're the same price. It's up to you, whatever preference you have. So I give you that option to be able to choose which coating that you want in the kit. You know, use them correctly, and any of these are going to be a fantastic pan for you and last you a very long time. Thank you.